All right, this is going to be a really quick one. I know I haven't been able to kind of pump these casts out lately, but it's been kind of busy for me, and yeah, I don't want to really pump out a half-ass cast, but here we are pumping out a half-ass cast. So just my quick thoughts on what I'm planning on playing, and for UFC Fight Island 4, featuring Darren Till and Robert Whittaker. I'm just gonna give away. I'm just gonna give some of my plays out, and then I'll just run by some of my thoughts on each fight after that. So for this card, my current bets right now are going to be um, Nick Dalby and Jesse Ronson going over 2.5. I got that at an earlier price at like negative 175. I think it's currently sitting at negative 200. So I think that's a good play for me. I'm also going to play Tom Aspinall money line as well as him finishing inside the distance. His money line I got him at negative 210, and his finish line I got it at plus 100. Currently, his finish line is sitting at negative 115, which I don't like too much, but I mean, um, yeah, I mean, I'd still play it. I think he does finish this fight, and yeah, those are my main two plays. I do have other bets as well. I did throw a little bit on Peter Sabota by submission, and that line I got it at. Let's see here. What did I get it at? Plus something big. It was plus huh. Okay. His submission line plus 680. I put $50 on that. I also took Rafael Pessoa by decision at plus 600. Put another $50 on that, which is one unit for me. And I have 4 units on the parlay of the over 2.5 for Dolby and what's his face, Ronson, and then the Aspinall money line as well as his finish line. So those are my main 4 plays for this card. And then the rest, I haven't played it yet, but I do maybe plan on playing a couple more lines. But this card is not a really great card for me. I don't see too much big opportunities here, but shoot, maybe maybe some of these dogs may come through. I don't know, but there is a lot of juice as well, so it's kind of why I don't really feel too good about it. But I'll run through the card anyways and just kind of give my quick thoughts on things. Probably won't be too long of a cast. I'll try to keep it under like 45 minutes. But there are a lot of fights on this card. There's 15 apparently, so if nobody drops off, then yeah, it's gonna be one of the larger lineup cards that there has ever been. So, all right, first fight of the night: Nathaniel Wood versus John Castaneda. Wood is the big favorite, negative 430 to come back on Castaneda is plus 345. Wood is probably gonna win this. Really good fighter. The only issue with the Wood is that in all of his losses, he's been finished 4 times. Now, like I don't know what that says about him, but maybe he's too willing to open up for offense. I mean, he's a really good finisher as well because in all of his UFC fights, he's pretty much finished every single one of them. He is he's also been, yeah, like I mentioned, he's been finished 4 times. And there was that other fight where he fought a guy named Josh Reed, maybe 2 fights before he got into the UFC, where you can find on YouTube where he almost gets put out, and then I guess Reed gets a little bit overzealous, and Wood clips him right back and finishes the fight. So yeah, Wood is a really good fighter. I mean, he's got a lot of skills. He's got great striking skills. He's got great wrestling skills. He's got great submissions. Really good offensively, but I don't know what it is, but his defense is not there. He tends to get hit a lot. So I mean, he's always gonna be liable for that. But he should roll here. I've watched maybe only like 2 fights of Castaneda's, and he's not that bad. He seems kind of like a fast guy. He's got some pretty decent footwork. He's got quick feet, and he's in and out, but he's just very offensively limited, and he you can pressure him and get him to step back, and I think that's what Nathaniel Woods is going to do here. He's just going to march him down, and this Castaneda cat is not going to be able to really get the space he needs to do what he wants to do, and that's pretty much what's going to happen. Nathaniel Wood is going to shrink the ground beneath him, and this guy is not going to have enough space to, use his speed to get in, get out, and do his thing, And Wood has fought a ton of southpaws in his career, and it looks like he knows what he's doing. And I like Wood for this. So, but negative 430. I mean, what are you gonna do about it? I do think. I mean, like Wood has been finishing all of his opponents, so like I do think he should finish this fight. But I don't know, man. Like Wood, he got knocked out in his last fight, and maybe he might come in here thinking like, damn, I need to play it safer. I need to not get a little too reckless. So who knows? I got Wood by finish, but I wouldn't bet on it. So I wouldn't bet on this money line either. So that's a skip fight for me. Moving on, we got Ramazan Emeev welterweight fight versus Nicholas Dolze, a new guy. Emeev is a huge favorite, negative 420. The comeback on the other Nicholas dude is plus 335. Ameev is a clinch fighter. He's like a dirty box fighter. He is clinching up with you. He kind of does what Usman does, but the Russian version. So, um, he's looking to close the distance. He's kind of he does most of his work in the dirty clinch. Being really active and just really just beating up against the fence. And just Stolzgate, I'm not gonna lie. I've only seen maybe one of his fights, and it looks like he's got some pretty sharp striking. But that's all I really know about him, so I don't really know. I can't really give out a prediction on how this fight's gonna go, but I do know who Ramazan is, and he's a solid guy that will probably beat guys by decision by doing what he does, which is the Usman strategy where he's just wall installing you and kind of hitting you and beating you up, so that way he could be active. And I expect him to do that here. I don't know if he's gonna finish because I don't know what the other dude is made out of. I don't know if he's a tough dude or not. So, but his decision line is negative 165 again, another skip. So that's that's not that's a no play for that one. Penny Kianzad, Beth Correa, I don't care. I'm not gonna break that down. Rafael Pessoa versus Tanner Boser. Like I mentioned, I had a play on Pessoa by decision at plus 600. I I think that's a very good line. Boser looked really good in his last. I'm not saying that I'm picking Pessoa to win, but I just do think I like the odds on that because Boser is actually a pretty good fighter himself. He looked in really good shape in his last fight, and he looked really sharp in his last fight as well. So um, maybe this is maybe he's kind of turned the corner on his fighting style. Because before that, I saw a tape on him. He was more of like a leg kicker, and he was kind of a decision fighter. But it looks like he's in really good shape, and he's looking to he's looking to swing bigger bombs. So with Pessoa here, I liked what I saw in his last fight. He looked light on his feet, despite being kind of a fat dude. And whenever he threw in combination, which uh, which is something that I like. So throwing in combination that definitely endears you to more points, obviously, but also it's a good way to rack up points, and judges like that as well. So I think this is going to be a lot closer than people think it's going to be, and I actually think this fight will probably go to a decision as well. Just like the line indicates, the over is negative 170, so obviously, like more likely than not, this will go to decision. But it's heavyweights, so I wouldn't bet on heavyweight over 2.5 at negative 170. I wouldn't do it. So I mean, I did it last time, and I burned myself, obviously, and it's just I went against my principles last time, so definitely not a fight that I would bet the over on. But you're gonna give me plus 600 on a decision line. Like if you know me, I love decision lines, and anything that large, I like to take it. So Um, Playing it for the odds, but I do expect the fight to go either way. I can see Bowser winning by decision. Um, and But I could also see Pessoa just throwing combinations. He's got some good leg kicks, just like Bowser throws good leg kicks as well. And Pessoa, he apparently he has a black belt. I don't know if that's a real black belt or not, but he can handle himself on the ground as well. So I think it's gonna be a close fight, and I can see Pessoa getting a decision here if he just throws in combinations and throws in volume. So that's my play right there. But again, I wouldn't be surprised on if either guy would win. So I'm just playing the odds. Next fight, Mike Grundy versus Movsar Evlov. I think this is a very premier fight. I think both these guys are really good fighters, and uh, very very good fight between two prospects. And both of these guys are really talented, really skilled, and I'm not sure how this fight's gonna go. The odds on Evloev is -200, and Grundy is plus 170, and I think Grundy's a pretty good underdog here. Um, but I also think Evloev is a very good fighter, so it's really tough to call. But I do think the odds should be a little bit closer, just because Grundy's a good fighter. Like I liked what I saw in his last fight. He looks like he's got really good striking. He's got a great like shot. He's a very good wrestler. Both these guys are very good wrestlers, and I wonder if either guy is going to be able to even hold each other down. Like Grundy's like his top control is really good too. Like both these guys, like it's going to be kind of like a mirror match, and like I wonder whose striking is going to be better. So um, yeah, this is going to be a close fight. And I mean, if I mean, one would say that the value is on Grundy here. I think Grundy's decision line when it first opened up, I kind of slept on it, but it opened up at like 350 or something, and that was a really good line. I didn't get a chance to play it, but now it's down to 290, which is still pretty good. I actually really like that line at plus 290. I think it's going to be a very close fight. I'm going to bet on Mike Grundy by decision, but I'm not going to put too much on it. Probably just, some action, but I expect the other guy to win. Like I said, Evloev, like, I mean, I guess everybody's expecting his wrestling to trump Grundy's, but I think they're pretty equal. I think they're really good. So I'm excited to watch that one as a fan. Betting wise, I don't know who to pick. The over at first was -220, I believe, or something, 225, and now it's at -265. I'm not gonna play that. That's too high for me, but I do think it should go over. But who knows? I mean, two wrestlers going at it, maybe it might end up being a striking match, and one of them knocks each other out or something. So that's a no play for me. Um, if there is an Evloev, no, a Mike Grundy plus 3.5 line, I'll take it, but it doesn't look like there is, so probably not going to take that. And then let me just kind of take a quick step back as well. I do like Pessoa points handicap at plus 125. That I do like as well. So that one's that. And then moving on, we have, I'm not sure if I'm going to order here. Let me see here. I think the next fight is a fight that I mentioned I was planning on playing. Aspinall. I think it might be Aspinall here. Yes. Okay. So Tom Aspinall versus Jake Collier. I'm taking Tom Aspinall just because I I think he's just gonna heavyweight this guy. I don't know. I thought Collier was like a middleweight or some type of light heavyweight. So Aspinall looks like a really big dude, and from tape that I watched, he looked like he was pretty agile. He looks like he's got some power, and from what I remember from Collier, I mean, like, he hasn't fought in a couple of years, and he's not very active. So, but from what I remember was that he gets hit a lot because he does a lot of like spinning shit and really like high risk maneuvers that just doesn't really work for anything 185 and up. And for him to be throwing spinning shit at a heavyweight, like, that's just a recipe for disaster. This guy's he's gonna get knocked out, like, fucking around throwing spinning shit, and he gets hit a lot. So I don't know. I guess the only way I could probably see this winning, Jake Collier winning, is if Tom Aspinall doesn't put him away, and maybe he kind of puts the pace on him and just out volumes him and just grinds him out into a late TKO or something. But other than that, like, I think Aspinall's gonna knock him out. I just the punching mechanics. I like that Aspinall's in and out. Like, he looks like he's got some decent footwork for a heavyweight, and he's got power. So I mean, that's uh, yeah, I think that's gonna be a knockout for Espinal here. Dalby and Jesse Ronson, I do think it's gonna go over 2.5. Both guys are really tough. Both guys are not great finishers, and that's just usually a recipe for the decision. So give me the over 2.5. That's or the fight goes to all 3 rounds. So that's I think it's pretty cut and dry for that one. I don't see either guy finishing each other. Francisco Trinaldo versus Jai Herbert. Um, I think I mean Trinaldo should win here. The guy's a true veteran. He is like very underrated fighter, I guess, just because he's got a lot of wins in the UFC. But unfortunately, he's what 41, 42 years old now, and I expect him to fall off the cliff anytime soon. Maybe to fall off a cliff anytime soon, but he hasn't so far. So I mean, I don't know. I originally wanted to bet for Trinaldo, but like I said, father time doesn't wait for anybody, and it could be in a moment that he just falls off a cliff here. And Herbert looks like he's got some good striking, but I don't really know much else about it other than like he's got sharp hands, and it could be one of those things where like Trinaldo just whoops on him the entire fight, but one mistake that he made because he was too tired or something like that because he gassed himself out, and then the underdog comes out and just puts him out. So. Um, I'm picking Trinaldo to win here, but I don't know if I could bet it just because yeah, he's really old and yeah I tread really carefully with anybody that's that old that's not a heavyweight. So uh, Kazmat Kamzat Chimaev versus Rise McKee. I don't know enough about McKee to make a prediction, and it doesn't really matter anyways, just because I'm just gonna call him Hazmat. Hazmat is negative 1,000 above that. So what are you gonna do? So that's gonna be a no play. Then you have Alex Oliveira versus Peter Sabota. I think I mean it's hard to really tell with this one, like it because Sabota's been out for so long, and then Oliveira he's been taking in a lot of damage lately, and I think he's as good. I think he's going to be as good as he's gonna get. He's a an all action fighter. He's got great striking. He's got great power. He's got some good speed. He's got, some good grappling and things like that. But in this fight, like I think in most Alex Oliveira fights, he usually needs to grapple in order to win. And I think it's a possible chance that Sabata could either catch him from the bottom, or Sabata gets on top of him and ends up choking him out or tapping him out. So most Oliveira fights, he tends to use his physicality on you and really just either puts you against the fence or put you on your back or just he requires a lot of physicality and explosion in order in all of his fights. So um, it's not to say that he can't knock out Sabata because I do think it's possible in this fight that if Oliveira does win, he could probably put Sabata out, knocking him out with a just a power shot. Because Sabata's defense isn't that great either. But I think if they start, if Sabata could like make this into a grappling match, I think he's going to either sweep um, catch Oliveira from the bottom because he does have a really good guard, or get put Oliveira on his back and put him way there and uh, find a renegade choke or something like that. So give me Sabato's money line plus 145. I just like him as an underdog. I think the fight should actually be negative 110 apiece. And like I mentioned earlier as well, I have a submission line. I have bets on a submission line of plus 680, so that's what I'm planning on taking. And yeah, Oliveira, man, he just he's taking in a lot of damage lately. So and then and the fact that he explodes so much, he tends to gas himself out as well. And I think yeah, I think somebody could tap him out. So all right, Paul Craig versus Ante Gulov. I'm not even gonna say his first name. This fight could go anyway. I don't know. Ante Gulov has like a round in him. So if Gulov doesn't put him away in the first round, he's probably going to gas out, and Craig will probably just beat him up. That's usually how it goes. And Craig's not even that good of a fighter, but he's, I mean, at least he has more than tank, one round in the gas tank, and that's pretty much all Antigulov has. So Craig has, finished guys in the third round, so at least he's got heart, unlike this dude. So Antigulov either wins this early or he gasses out and Craig takes over. Um, yeah. Uh, Esparza versus Rodriguez. I think Rodriguez is gonna win. I don't know. I mean, it's a girl fight. It could go either way. If Esparza can get her wrestling game going, obviously she's going to be the winner here. But I think that's going to be a lot of distance that Esparza has to cover in order to close the distance and get the takedowns. And I don't think Carla is going to be successful getting takedowns from the clinch. She would have to really catch Marina like overreaching and then ducking under a punch and getting her down. But I think Marina's striking is a little more sharper. It's still where she's unlike the other girls, she's not like overreaching. And I think if Esparza could do something from range, maybe she'll win the fight. But if she can't establish a range game and she has to close the distance, then I think Marina's gonna probably just pick her apart and win a decision. So um, Carla, if she wants to win this fight, she's going to have to strike with Marina and just get her to respect her hands and then go for the takedowns. But if she's out here trying to time a takedown from in space, then she's going to get picked apart and I think she even loses in the clinch as well with Marina. So I think Marina Rodriguez is going to win, but I'm not betting that because I don't want to bet on this fight. So we're Doom versus Gustafson. Like from the main card, I don't really have too many plays just because of these old dudes here. Where Doom is 42 years old. Like, what are you gonna do? And Gustafson is moving up from 205. So Gustafson is probably gonna win this fight. He's going to dance, pick him apart, and possibly put him away. I do know that if Gustafson does drop him, he's not. I don't think he's gonna follow Where Doom to his guard. Where Doom's been known to butt scoot, and if Gustafson goes into his guard and where Doom does recover and lands a triangle, like I don't see why Gustafson would follow him to the ground. Unless Gustafson puts him out on the feet, then that's how he could knock him out. But I think where Doom's one of those guys where like he doesn't mind flopping to his back and yeah, you're gonna I do with having said that, I think Gustafson is probably gonna win a decision here unless he puts him out unless he puts out Verdum, like puts him out cold on the feet and just flurries on him. So other than that, I got Gustafson probably by decision, but like Gustafson's line is negative, but um, it's negative 345 right now. Like there's no way I'm gonna bet that shit. His decision line is plus 178. I don't even like that either. So fuck this one. I'll probably just watch it and enjoy it. So, or if we're doing fights aren't really that enjoyable, he's very slow and like yeah, he's not a good fighter anymore. Shogun versus Rogerio Nogueira, Little Nog. I mean, like, why is this fight happening? I don't know. Like, both these guys are as old as dirt, and both of them are. I mean, they're legends. I've watched them in the past, but like, I'm not really the type of fan that really like plays on the nostalgia factor. Like, I have a ton of respect for both guys, but uh, man, they're both old as shit. So I don't even want to break this fight down. Like, they're both fucking old. So yeah, that's it. And then the main event, Darren Till versus Robert Whittaker. A lot of question marks going into this that I would like to know which is where is Robert Whittaker's head's at, and like how is his body holding up? Like I really don't know what the answer to that is. In the past, like we've seen what Whittaker's body like. I think it's starting to break down on him, and that's not a good thing, And you know how healthy is he? I don't, and he could say that he's coming in here healthy and motivated and all that stuff, but like I feel like it's all those wars he's had and all those training camps he's had, like it's starting to take a toll on his body, and he's been pulling out of fights and getting injured and things like that, and mentioning that he's been going through mental stress and things like that. So I don't know how that could affect, his fight coming into this, like, he's capable of. So it's a really tough one to call. Like, if I knew a little bit more about that, then I could probably make a better decision. But since I don't, it's really, yeah, like I said, it's really tough to call. And then with Darren Till, uh, Darren Till, here's what I do know. Darren Till is a counter fighter. He doesn't ever throw first. If he does throw first, he's just kind of throwing feelers out. He's looking to counter, and Whittaker is the type of guy that's going to throw first all the time. So I think it's a really good matchup. I think they match up like, I think they're both gonna get each other what they want. Like, Whittaker is gonna throw first. He's gonna throw flurries. He's going to blitz and throw multiple attacks and different angles, and really work like this. Just really throwing flurries, while Darren Till is going to try and snipe and look for his openings, and you know evade punches, and try to methodically find his openings. And uh, yeah, it's a good fight, and I think the odds should be even. And I really don't know who to lean on, but gun to my head, I'm going to pick Darren Till only because like the 2 points that I made about Whittaker is, um I don't know if his heart's in it anymore, or his head's in it, or his body can take the training, MMA rigorous training anymore. And I think Darren Till is going to find his openings whenever Whittaker opens up and tries to, you know, enter the pocket or just kind of leap in the pocket. And I think Darren Till might be able to just catch him on the way in and find his counters. Um, but I mean, Whittaker, he can make it happen. Like, I like that dude. Like, he's super duper humble dude. He's a fighter's fighter. He's a man of character. Like, I like him a lot. Like, as far as Till goes, I don't like his character too much. I think he's a weird dude. He's I don't like his mentality for the most part. I do like Robert Whittaker's like mentality as a fighter, but man, yeah, it's really tough. I just think it's a really tough one. Like, I guess it's you could kind of reference Whittaker's fight with the first Yoel fight as a idea of how Whittaker is going to fight against a left-handed fighter. The reason why I say that is because the second fight with Whittaker versus Yoel actually fought in orthodox the entire fight, which is I think that might have thrown Whittaker off as well, and I think it threw everybody off. Like, if you had noticed, like, that was the first time Yoel had ever stood orthodox throughout the entire fight, which is very strange. And uh, that was a very good performance by both those guys. But back to this point is, yeah, I don't know how where Whittaker's head's at. So just to reiterate that point, so I'm gonna go with Darren Till, gun to my head. If I have success on the undercard, I'll probably play Darren Till. Um, but I'm rooting for Whittaker here, and I hope he makes a comeback, and I hope he recovers and really finds whatever fire he's looking for. So, but yeah, I'm going to pick Darren Till in this fight. So those are my thoughts for this card. I kind of made it real quick. Um, Overall, betting wise, I don't like it too much. My main plays, like I had mentioned, were Tom Aspinall and the over for the Dalby versus Brunson fight, and then I have props on Aspinall by finish, and then my other two props were Pessoa by decision at a really big number at plus 600, and then Peter Sabota by submission plus 680, as well as Peter Sabota um, money line plus 145, and just last thing I want to add is plus 3.5 points handicaps are always good bets and good recommended bets. So I like Sabota's plus 3.5 points handicap at negative 125. I like who else is plus 3.5 here? If Grundy has one, I like his plus 3.5. It looks like he doesn't have one, and I like Pessoa's plus 3.5 as well. And his is set at plus 125. So those are two plus 3.5. I mean, two sets of points handicap lines that I do like. And yeah, that's it. And I think I kind of like Darren Till's plus 3.5 as well, which is no, it's plus 5.5, and that is set at negative 155. So those are the 3 points handicaps that I do like here as well. So good luck everybody. I'm just gonna wait for next week's card, which is only 10 fights on there as well. So who knows for that one as well. I mean, I have two bets that I really like on there that I see already. So just stay tuned for that one. I'll try to pump that cast out, hopefully, if I'm not too busy. I mean, I got pretty much my hands full and really hard to kind of focus on MMA. So maybe take my opinion with a grain of salt. But yeah, good luck everybody, and I'll see you in the next one.